right, so get ready. Because today we're going on a deep dive, and it's all about uncovering your life purpose through astrology.
Really exciting stuff.
Yeah, so specifically we're talking about zodiac and moon signs.
Yes.
And how they kind of work together to like reveal your strengths and what truly makes you tick.
Yeah, you can think of it as like a cosmic blueprint for a life that feels aligned with your most authentic self. And we're going way beyond, those daily horoscopes that you see online.
Right, because it's one thing to know, okay, I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean when it comes to like, finding a career that you love?
Yeah.
Or understanding, those deeper emotional needs.
Right. It's about recognizing the unique blend of energies within you. So like your sun sign, the one you probably know best that represents your outer personality, the talents, the skills you naturally express in the world.
Yeah.
But it's your moon sign that reveals those hidden desires and motivations, what truly brings you a sense of fulfillment.
So like for me, I'm a Leo. And yeah, some of those classic traits fit like, I can be a little bit dramatic sometimes. Yeah. I definitely love to be the center of attention.
Yeah, the performer.
Exactly. But my moon is in Pisces, which explains my love for like deep conversations and emotional connection, even though it doesn't exactly scream Leo. It makes so much sense when you consider that lunar influence.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. How these two signs working together can point you towards work that feels meaningful and a life that truly resonates with who you are at your core.
I love that. And this source material we're looking at actually breaks it down by elements, starting with fire signs.
Right.
Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But instead of just saying, oh, fire signs are leaders.
Right.
It goes deeper, highlighting some less obvious traits.
Absolutely.
Right.
For instance, with Leos, while leadership is definitely a strong theme, the material emphasizes their incredible capacity to inspire and uplift others.
Yes.
It's not just about taking charge. It's about that radiant energy that draws people in and makes them feel seen and encouraged. I'm curious, how have you seen that manifest in your own life, given your Leo sun?
Oh, that's so insightful because honestly, I never thought of myself as a leader. Like in the traditional sense,
Yeah.
But when you put it that way, it clicks. I definitely thrive on encouraging others, whether it's like my friends, family, even just random people online, Like I get so much joy out of seeing people like reach their potential and, step into their power.
And that's where the moon sign adds another layer of complexity. So this source material suggests that a Leo sun paired with, say, a Virgo moon might lead to someone who inspires through practical action and meticulous attention to detail.
So instead of just being a cheerleader,
right,
they're rolling up their sleeves and showing you exactly how to reach your goals.
Exactly. They inspire through both their vision and their ability to create a structured path towards achieving it.
Wow.
It's a really interesting combination, especially if we think about how this might play out in a career setting.
So even within the fire sign element,
right,
you have these nuanced variations based on the moon sign.
Yes.
It's not just a one-size-fits-all approach.
Precisely. And that's what makes this exploration so fascinating. We're not just looking at broad strokes here. We're delving into the intricate ways these energies interact to create a truly unique blueprint for each individual.
Okay, so we talked about fire signs, but what about those grounded, practical earth signs?
Right.
Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're all about tangible results, right?
Yes. But remember, even within that grounded energy, there's a spectrum. So the source material actually challenges the typical view of Taurus being solely focused on material possessions and comfort.
Right.
Instead, it highlights their deep connection to nature and their incredible capacity for creating beauty and abundance in all areas of life.
So it's less about things and more about cultivating a life that feels rich and fulfilling.
Exactly.
On a sensory level.
Think of a Taurus sun with the Pisces moon. Now you have someone who not only appreciates the beauty of the physical world, but also brings a deep well of empathy and intuition to their creative pursuits. The source actually mentions the specific example of a Taurus Sun Pisces Moon artist whose work is renowned for its emotional depth and almost spiritual quality. It's as if they're channeling something beyond the tangible realm.
Wow, that's a powerful combination.
It is.
That makes you wonder how those seemingly opposite energies actually work together to create something so unique.
That's what we're going to delve into further, because when you start layering these moon sign influences onto the sun sign foundation, it's like unlocking a hidden dimension of understanding. You begin to see how someone can be both practical and deeply sensitively ambitious and compassionate all at the same time. It really challenges those stereotypical assumptions we often make about each sign.
And speaking of challenging assumptions, let's move on to the air signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
Okay.
They're known as the thinkers, the communicators, right?
Yeah.
But how does the moon sign add complexity to that?
Well, let's take Gemini, for example. They're often portrayed as social butterflies flitting from one idea to the next. But this source material suggests that a Gemini sun with a Scorpio moon might actually be drawn to more intense investigative pursuits.
So instead of like lighthearted chit-chat,
Right.
they're diving deep into complex topics and uncovering hidden truths.
Exactly. And they might do so with a level of passion and focus that wouldn't typically be associated with the stereotypical flighty Gemini. That Scorpio moon adds a layer of depth and intensity that can really transform the way that Gemini energy expresses itself.
It makes you wonder if those seemingly contradictory combinations actually lead to some of the most fascinating and multifaceted personalities.
Yeah.
They're not just one thing. They're this incredible blend of seemingly opposite traits.
Precisely. And that's what I find so exciting about this deep dive. We're not just confirming what we already know about each sign. We're uncovering a whole new layer of understanding by exploring the interplay of these sun and moon sign energies.
Okay, so we've got fire, earth, and air covered. What about the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces?
Yes, the deep feelers.
They're the emotional deep divers of the zodiac, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how does their moon sign influence that?
That's where things get really interesting. Let's consider Scorpio. They're known for their intensity, their passion, and their ability to delve into the depths of human emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But pair a Scorpio sun with, say, an Aries moon, and you get someone who channels that intensity into bold action and a pioneering spirit.
So instead of like brooding in the shadows,
Right.
they're using their emotional depth to fuel their drive and make a real impact on the world.
Exactly. They're not afraid to confront difficult emotions, both in themselves and others, and they might use that understanding to become powerful advocates for change. This source actually gives an example of a Scorpio Sun Aries Moon who became a human rights lawyer, fearlessly fighting for justice and equality.
It's like that fiery Aries moon gives them the courage to act on their deep-seated convictions.
Uh-huh.
They're not just feeling it.
Right.
They're doing something about it.
And that's what's so remarkable about these sun and moon sign combinations. They can reveal so much about how we channel our emotions, how we express our passions, and ultimately how we navigate the world around us.
This is all so fascinating.
Mm.
I'm already starting to see how my own sun and moon signs have influenced my choices and even my relationships.
It's like having a new lens through which to view yourself and others. And remember, this is just the beginning of our exploration. We've got plenty more to unpack as we delve deeper into these astrological insights.
We've been talking about how our sun and moon signs can give us these incredible insights into our strengths and motivations. It's like having a cosmic cheat sheet for figuring out what makes us tick.
It's more than just a cheat sheet. It's about recognizing that those contradictions we sometimes feel within ourselves are actually sources of incredible strength.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like in real life, we're not just one thing.
Mm.
You know, we're complex. We have multiple layers.
Exactly. This source material gives a really compelling example of this with the combination of a Capricorn sun and a Pisces moon on the surface. You might think, wait, Capricorn all about ambition and structure paired with dreamy, intuitive Pisces? Wouldn't that create an internal tug of war?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive. Like, how can someone be both a driven CEO and a deeply compassionate artist at heart?
That's the beauty of it. This source argues that this tension is actually where the magic happens. This individual might excel in fields that require both a strategic mind and deep empathy. Like a doctor who combines medical expertise with a genuine ability to connect with their patients.
So instead of seeing those seemingly opposite energies as conflicting, we should view them as like complementary.
Absolutely. And the source even suggests that this kind of sun-moon combination can lead to individuals who are incredibly successful in bridging divides and bringing people together. They can understand different perspectives, speak to different needs, and ultimately create harmony out of what might seem like chaos to others.
Wow, that's powerful. It makes me think about all the times I felt conflicted about my own seemingly opposite desires. Maybe it's not about choosing one over the other, but finding a way to integrate them.
That's precisely the point. This source encourages us to embrace the full spectrum of our being, even the parts that seem contradictory, because it's in that integration that we discover our true potential.
This deep dive is already making me rethink how I approach my own personal growth. It's like instead of trying to fit into a neat little box, I can celebrate all the messy, complex, beautiful parts of myself.
And that self-acceptance, that willingness to embrace your whole being is actually a key theme that emerges from this source material. It's about recognizing that there's no one right way to be a certain sign.
Right, like even if I'm a Leo, I don't have to embody every single stereotype associated with that sign. My moon sign, my unique experiences, all of that shapes who I am.
Precisely. And this source goes even further, suggesting that astrology isn't just about understanding your personality, but about recognizing your potential for growth. It's a tool for becoming the best version of yourself.
So how do we actually use this information to make those positive changes in our lives? It's one thing to understand our sun and moon signs, but how do we actually put that knowledge into action?
This source suggests, starting with self-awareness, pay attention to those recurring patterns in your life. What are your strengths? What are your challenges? Where do you feel most aligned? And where do you feel friction?
It sounds like it's about getting curious about your own internal landscape and noticing how those sun and moon sign energies are playing out in your day-to-day experiences.
Exactly. And this source emphasizes the importance of journaling meditation or any practice that helps you connect with your inner voice, because ultimately the answers lie within you.
So it's not about relying on some external source to tell us who we are or what we should do. It's about using astrology as a framework for self-discovery.
Precisely. And this source also cautions against getting too caught up in the labels or limitations of each sign. Remember, astrology is a guide, not a rigid set of rules.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into that trap of thinking, oh, I'm of this sign, so I can't do this or that. But really, it's about understanding our natural tendencies and then choosing how we want to express them.
Exactly. And the source even suggests using your astrological knowledge to identify potential blind spots or areas where you might need to stretch yourself, for example. Let's say you're a Cancer sun, known for your nurturing qualities, but you also have a Sagittarius moon, which craves adventure and independence.
That sounds like a combo that might struggle with finding a balance between their need to care for others and their desire to explore the world.
Exactly. But by recognizing that tension, this individual can consciously work on setting boundaries, creating space for their own needs, and finding ways to express their nurturing qualities in ways that also allow for personal growth and exploration.
It's like using astrology to become more self-aware and make choices that are truly aligned with our authentic selves.
That's the key takeaway here. Astrology isn't about limiting ourselves. It's about expanding our understanding of who we are and what we're capable of. It's about empowering ourselves to create a life that feels both meaningful and fulfilling.
Wow. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to how much our sun and moon signs can reveal about our paths in life.
Yeah.
It's not just about personality traits. It's about those deeper motivations and desires that drive us.
Yeah, it's like we've been uncovering a hidden language, almost a way to understand those inner nudges and whispers that guide us towards our purpose.
Exactly. And the source material we've been discussing emphasizes that it's not about having all the answers right away. It's about being open to the journey, trusting our intuition, and allowing ourselves to evolve along the way.
And that evolution might involve taking risks, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and even challenging those limiting beliefs we've held about ourselves for so long.
Because sometimes our greatest growth happens when we dare to do something that scares us a little, right?
Absolutely. This source actually suggests using our astrological knowledge to identify those areas where we might be holding ourselves back. For example, let's say you're a Virgo sun, known for your analytical mind and attention to detail. But you also have a Leo moon, which craves creative expression and recognition.
So that sounds like someone who might be brilliant at planning and organizing, but secretly yearns to be in the spotlight.
Exactly. And they might struggle with perfectionism, feeling like their creative endeavors have to be flawless before they can share them with the world.
Right.
But by recognizing this pattern, they can consciously work on letting go of that need for control, embracing their playful side, and allowing themselves to shine authentically, even if it's a little messy or imperfect.
So it's about using our astrological insights to uncover those hidden desires, and then giving ourselves permission to pursue them, even if they don't fit the mold of what we think a certain sign should be.
Precisely. And this source reminds us that the journey of self-discovery is ongoing. It's not a destination we arrive at, but a continuous process of exploration and growth.
It's like we're constantly peeling back layers, uncovering new facets of ourselves as we experience life, and integrate those experiences into our understanding of who we are.
And astrology can be a valuable tool in that process, providing a framework for understanding those different facets and how they work together to create the unique tapestry of our being.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Yeah.
Remember, Your sun and moon signs are just the starting point. It's up to you to explore those energies, to experiment, to challenge yourself, and to create a life that truly reflects the beautiful, complex, ever-evolving being that you are.
And never underestimate the power of your intuition. Those gut feelings, those whispers of inspiration, they're often guiding you toward your truest path, even if it doesn't make logical sense at the time.
Trust yourself, embrace the journey, and keep shining your unique light. Thanks for joining us on this cosmic adventure. Until next time, keep exploring.